Hey everybody on YouTube and everybody on Facebook as well. You will be seeing me looking at two different cameras as I am streaming live both on Facebook and YouTube. Welcome. Let me adjust this camera here. Welcome to day 2 of my 5-day series that will show you how to shift from horrible holidays to happy holidays. I'm talking about 5 mishaps, 5 mistakes that we tend to make around, especially around holiday season, that really cause more stress and chaos and anxiety and frustration and frantic preparation. So this holiday season, my intention for you is to make it magical, make it connected, make it peaceful, make it enjoyable, having some joy and play in there instead of that chaos and conflict, and turning that into connection and joy instead, and turning that exhaustion and overwhelm into abundance of time, rest and relaxation. That is my intention and my wish and my blessing for you this holiday season. Okay, so yesterday we talked about how to transform stress and overwhelm into abundance of time, energy and connection and love. And before I talk about today's topic, which is shift out of misery, realizing happiness is already inside you. It's such a mind-blowing realization when we really realize that, and when we accept that, we can actually just stop. We can stop the search, we can stop the striving, we can stop the thoughts that are always in the future, the thoughts that are always in the what's next and next, what do I want next? Because it is that striving, that seeking that some pleasure that causes suffering. So that's what we're going to talk about today, that you can actually, stop everything and realize that happiness is already inside you, and kind of come to an acceptance, it's not outside of you. So we can stop looking for happiness in all the wrong places. So welcome everybody who's listening. You can write me comments as I am going along. I think I should be able to see them, not sure. But if not during the live, then definitely afterwards. Okay, so starting with happiness. I love what Russ Harris talks about happiness. And he really defines the 3 traps, 3 myths that cause unhappiness. These 3 things that we believe that are not true. So I want to start today's talk with that, this happiness trap, okay? So the mistake number 1 around happiness is believing that happiness is the natural state of human being. Believing that I have food, shelter, relationship, I have all these things, I have a nice car, a nice house, happy, healthy kids, whatever it is, that then I should be happy. That's a natural state of human being. When we just have those things in place, then poof, we are going to be happy. Guess what? That's wrong. That is not true. What is true instead is we have an ebb and flow of emotions. We are happy, we are sad, we are joyful, we are jealous, we are frustrated, we are angry, we are blissful, we are content, we are fulfilled, we are embarrassed, we are ashamed. It's just like the weather outside. I'm in Encinitas, California. Today it is raining, which is nice. It's just like the weather. It changes. And there's no, it's our judgment that we put on. It's good weather, bad weather, night and day. All these judgments that we put on things that are just natural. So human emotions, there's an ebb and flow to them. And there are no feelings that are bad feelings. They feel uncomfortable, but they are not bad. So my invitation is that to allow whatever feeling state arises. Especially kids are really good about arousing and evoking feeling states, right? And most of the time what happens though is like we just like flip our lids. We go off instead of just allowing that feeling state to arise and realize that's totally normal, that's totally natural. Okay, so happiness is not the natural state of human being. The ebb and flow of emotions is the natural state of human being. That is the lesson number 1. Now, I love this one. Happiness means feeling good. There's this idea like, I'm happy when I'm feeling so elated, so joyful, so good, so flying high up in the sky. And that means I'm happy. Guess what? That's wrong. Because again, going to what I said before, how long did it last when you last time felt good? When maybe it was your birthday, or maybe it was just around Thanksgiving, something amazing happened or something exciting and new happened. Maybe your child was like finally listening and behaving and you were like, oh, this is amazing. Then we get stuck and we try to hold on to that feeling good. We get addicted to feeling good. Happiness is not about feeling good. Happiness is about feeling whatever you're feeling and allowing those feelings to be whatever they are and accepting yourself in whatever you are feeling. So otherwise we just keep chasing this feeling good and it's impossible, it's unnatural even. So, but what if we just let our feelings be? So my invitation of, instead of defining happiness as feeling good, redefining it. This is really important. Redefining it as a sense of having fulfillment and purpose in life. Living a life of purpose and meaning, doing whatever fulfills you. Doing whatever lights up your soul. Doing whatever that inspires you. Regardless how you feel. So when we are in that state of inspired action towards the vision, towards the family that you want to create, towards the parent that you want to be, then it doesn't matter how you are feeling. The happiness is being in the process of creating that. And having created a vision, having decided that you're committed to your vision, being responsible for creating it because only you can create it. Nobody else is going to create it for you. So think about happiness as fulfillment instead of feeling good. And accepting even the painful emotions that are just part of that journey of being a human being. So can you see now? Happiness is available to you at any given point in time. It truly is inside of you. It's a choice. It's a state that you generate from within. It's nothing from the outside. And the last happiness myth that Russ Harris talks about is, if I'm not happy, there's something wrong with me. So if I'm feeling sad, or I'm just feeling blah, I'm feeling numb, or whatever it is that I'm feeling anxious, and I'm not happy, then what's wrong with me? And people go on to this quest to try to fix themselves, to try to change yourself. It's not about fixing or changing yourself, your children, your partner, anybody around you, your mom, your dad. I wish sometimes we could, right? It's about becoming who you are. It's not even about changing yourself. It's about becoming who you already are, your authentic self, and having the courage to live from that place, having the courage to live from a place of open-heartedness, because there's only two states. Like, we're either open or we're closed. We are open or closed. We live from love or we live from fear. And that's a choice that we get to make every day. So turn it around, turn it around. That it's like, okay, if I'm happy all the time, it means I'm not normal. I don't know. Make something silly out of it. But letting go of that idea of what's normal and what's not. So that's my first invitation, is really to start redefining happiness and looking at these 3 thinking errors that we have around happiness. The first one is happiness is the natural state of human beings. It's not. Happiness means feeling good. That's not true. And if I'm not happy, something is wrong with me. And instead, if you're not happy, you're normal. That actually means you're normal. Okay. The other thing I want to touch upon here is the demand for love. Sometimes there's this, many people have this idea that, if I'm going to be happy when my children love me, I'm going to be happy when someone, my partner, or somebody outside of myself loves me. I love what David Byrne said about this, and he says the demand or need for love before you feel happy is called dependency, which means you are unable to resume responsibility for your emotions. And your emotional life. So that demand that someone loves you before you decide you can be happy, that's dependency, which means you're constantly giving your power away instead of being responsible for your emotional state. So think about what the implication of that is as a parent. Of course, I get it. You want your kids to love you. And they do. They love you even when they yell at you, they hate you. That especially means they love you. It just means they are hurt. So to not mistake those behaviors in children as lack of love. Not to believe that kids are just supposed to automatically love you to show you their love. They don't. We get to earn it. We get to create that beautiful, exceptional relationship with them through understanding and connection, sharing time, co-regulating, helping them feel safe. That's how that happens. So a couple more things around happiness, because I really want you to get it, and so that this can support you, so you can stop that striving. You can stop looking for happiness in all the wrong places. So the next one is being comfortable with uncertainty and embracing the unknown. Being comfortable with uncertainty and embracing the unknown. Because it is the unknown and impermanence of life that is lasting. that is there all the time. What is there all the time is constant change and uncertainty. It's our limited, fearful ego self that desires to know, to predict, to control. And now we have a life experience that is really, really exhausting because we are trying to control something that we can't. And instead of controlling, the solution is letting go. So what are the tools for living with discomfort and uncertainty? I love what Pema Chodron, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, says about loving kindness. She says, place your fearful mind in the cradle of loving kindness. And you know that I talk a lot about loving kindness. Actually, I have a free course. If you go to transformationalparent.com, and scroll over to the freebies page, I have a free course you can sign up there for loving kindness. So it is about placing the fearful mind into the cradle of loving kindness. That's the tool of facing that uncertainty and embracing the unknown. Loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity or neutrality. just realizing that life events are neutral. Every single life event is neutral. My dog just died about a month ago. My little Trinity, who's been my companion for 17 years. It was really, really hard. And I got to practice that. It's just natural for her to die at that age. And that event is neutral. The way I respond to it is not, right? I get to feel my feelings around that, but it helps me not flip my lid and get super dysregulated and upset when I realize that every event in life is neutral. Just like we talked about the weather before. The weather it's raining. It's not good or bad, it's just rain, it's neutral. So super grounding to come to that place of equanimity, of neutrality, that middle path, that middle way that Buddha talks about, always being in the middle, because we do live in this polar world and we get to choose to be committed to the middle way, from which we can freely choose which way we want to go. So again, apply that to parenting. How does that look like? How does that look like when a sibling, for example, hits the older sibling, hits a younger sibling? What's the middle path? The middle path is to love both, to validate both. Both are in pain, but usually it's the aggressor who gets punished in some ways, and it's the aggressor that needs the most love. Absolutely needs the most love, needs the most connection. So walking the path of equanimity and neutrality as a parent is super, super important. That doesn't mean not caring, it just means loving all. Finally, being friends with who you are, accepting yourself just as the way you are, not needing to change a bit. So extending that compassion into yourself, having self-compassion. And truly finding and realizing your own value is really, really important part of this. Stopping to seek for happiness is all the wrong places, because the happiness is inside you by you also loving and accepting yourself with all the good, bad, and the ugly, everything. You're just a unique, special human being. Nobody like you ever existed. Nobody like you exists now. Nobody like you will ever exist in the future. So why would we ever compare? It's impossible to compare ourselves to anybody else. So practicing that loving kindness and self-compassion towards yourself as well. And to wrap things up for today, my message is really that walking of the middle path. Because usually we are in between seeking pleasure and avoiding pain, seeking pleasure and avoiding pain. So now we are in this place of stuck. So if you have a life experience of being stuck, that's why. Because on the one hand, we are running this way, running after things, and then we are running away from certain things that we want to avoid. So my invitation is to pause, is to stop, and just instead just being, instead of numbing or avoiding or running away. Part of being human is feeling discomfort. Like Marcus Aurelius say, what's in the way becomes the way, or something like that. So it is the resisting life that causes suffering. It's resisting your child and childhood and normal child development that causes exhaustion, causes conflict. And as a parent, you get to be okay with impermanence, because as soon as you figure something out with your kiddo, like, this works, they go to the next developmental stage or something changes, and now the thing that worked yesterday doesn't work today. So let it go. Don't get stuck on like, well, why did it work yesterday and now it's not working? Let it go, shift, and figure out what's working now. And creating from that place. So fulfillment and happiness is a choice. We can choose at this very moment. It doesn't it doesn't take a lot of work. That's a misconcept. Like, people have this idea that transformation is, it's going to take years, it's going to take so much work. No, it doesn't. You can choose to love yourself right now. You can choose to feel fulfilled and grateful of what you have right now. It's just making that mental leap from your head to your heart. What is that distance? Like 12 inches, 15 inches? I don't know. That is my invitation. But we never do that journey because we are constantly looking for outside. We are running towards something or away from something. So pause, be present, check yourself, like how you're defining happiness, and start creating some purpose and meaning in your life. Start living instead of being afraid of living. So many people think that they are afraid of dying, but really what it is, it's afraid of living. It's afraid of living a wholehearted, full life, openness, out of love. So many parents are afraid to love their children. Stop being afraid to love their children. Love your children. This is exactly what your kids need. Okay, so that is my life for today, and my invitation just to realize that happiness is already inside you. Happiness is already there, and you get to choose that. So please let me know if you have any questions or comments. If you do want to have a chat one-on-one about this, if you have any blockages, if you're feeling resistance to some of the things that I'm saying, I'd love to support you to get over to the other side. So in this video, below this video, I'm going to post a link where you can schedule a call with me, how to grow a compassionate heart, how to grow a heart that is compassionate towards yourself and other people. So you can just click on that link and schedule this 30-minute free call where we can dive deeper into what's really in the way of you feeling happy. Because you deserve that. You deserve to feel happy. You deserve to feel fulfilled. You deserve to have purpose and meaning in this life. That's what it's all about. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about perfectionism. That's one of the mistakes, one of the mishaps that comes in the way of you feeling joyful, happy, relaxed, and connected during the holiday season. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about how to buckle up your perfectionism and learn healthy striving instead, which means it doesn't mean that you're completely letting go of your perfectionism. It just means you get to harness it. And that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So until then, see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.